Hi everyone, it's Brianna from Bridging Hope Counseling. So here I am running a group, sitting in front of my fire. Not exactly what we had planned or what we expected, but we're trying to continue to make sure that everyone gets the skills because as a for myself and as Bridging Hope, we really do believe in them and we do want to be able to support everybody, especially during these times. And so things will be a little bit different. Things will, for DBT groups, well, our plan is for me to do a video each week, going through a couple different skills, and then having a one-on-one session via that potentially telehealth with one of the facilitators from your group or in the office as long as we're able to do that, getting that support and using the video of the week to kind of have that be the DBT lesson. What I'm hearing from my group members that are in my specific groups, obviously we're not just coming to DBT to learn the skills. It's great and that's wonderful. We're going to DBT for the connection, and obviously this doesn't allow us that connection. And we understand that, and we're continuing to work on ways that we'll be able to be creative about that. But for the time being, this is how we are going to do this, and our main focus is going to be the skills. And so please let your therapist know what other support you need beyond potentially a half an hour of the skills. And the videos will be 10 to 15 minutes long, kind of depending upon the skill. And then my fireplace just turned on, so hopefully that's not too loud for everybody. The fan. So going forward, like I said, just if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bridging Hope Counseling. If you click the little bell, you'll get updates when we post a new video on there. The DBT video of the week should be available each Monday. By the end of the day Monday, and you can watch that throughout your week. The great thing about YouTube is you can keep going back to it as well. So if you need kind of a refresher on what was that skill, what are some ideas, or a refresher before you have your individual one-on-one DBT session, this will be a great resource for that. So we're all doing things different now. I, for one, am going to have to get much more comfortable being on camera, watching myself, talking to you this way. It's been hard because I love to talk to people. I love to have people in front of me, and the computer thing is new. And so again, we just want to be able to talk about it. So if that's just kind of feeling weird, which we totally expect it to be a little bit weird, talk about it. I think during these times, it's important to be able to talk about it and process through how it's different. I saw a thing the other day about, waking up each morning and thinking about what is the one thing from kind of the old way of doing things that now I have to kind of let go of and embrace a new way. And I think each day we're learning on how to do things in this new way, and we don't know for how long. As soon as it's safe for us to continue to have groups, we are going to have those groups because we do know that the connection is so important for everybody. So we're not going to focus these sessions all on the COVID-19. However, I think it's a great way to start. The other piece, we do have adolescent groups as well as adult groups. And this video this week will be for everybody because we're all learning, the skills are the same regardless. They're just delivered in a little bit different way. But other weeks, there'll be an adult DBT video as well as adolescent DBT video. And those won't necessarily be all about kind of coping with what's going on right now. We will continue to go through the curriculum with the skills so you don't miss anything. However, I thought it was appropriate for this first one just to kind of get comfortable, for you to get comfortable, for me to get comfortable, kind of go with the coping skills and how do the DBT skills apply to the situation going on right now. So if we think about the different modules of DBT, we think about mindfulness, distress tolerance, emotion regulation, and interpersonal effectiveness. Certainly the couple that stand out right now and what we're going through is being able to regulate our emotions, as well as that ability to tolerate stress. And so we'll focus a lot on that this week of just how we can incorporate or remember the DBT skills that we already know into this particular stuff we're going through right now. And so thinking about one of the skills that jumps out at me right away is effectiveness. So if you take a look, each week you'll get a skills card as well as some of the skills emailed to you. So you can look at those worksheets. But looking at our skills card and the skill in the mind up in the mindfulness section of effectiveness, doing what works. And that's different because doing what works that worked 2 weeks ago probably looks different than what doing what works looks like right now. And so finding ways of what is working right now. We are creating new routines. We are creating new normals. And that would be the focus of this week, is being able to create that new normal for yourself, that new routine. There's oodles and oodles of research out there suggesting that routine is so important for us, that we thrive on routine. If we're an adolescent, think about it. We wake up in the morning, we go to school, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G class, and then we go home, we do whatever activities. We have DBT on a certain night. We may have our therapy appointment in the midst of our week, but that's a routine. Whether we like school or not, or whether we like going to work or not, like those things are part of our routine and we thrive on those. And so the skill of effectiveness, doing what works, is about doing what works, creating now a new routine. I've heard over the course of the last week, I'm bored. I felt that myself. Like, I'm bored. What else to do? And I have a lot to do. And so sometimes it might be even making a list of what are some things I can do, like my boredom list. What are some things I can do when I'm feeling bored? What are some things I can do when I just need a break from all the other stuff that's going on? I don't know about you, but I found myself on my phone a lot over the last week, either looking at, different articles. There's all sorts of things in the news, or just, mindlessly going through Amazon to see what I would like to order when they start delivering again. So I've noticed myself, I told somebody the other day, I gotta put my phone down. I gotta put my phone down. Not necessarily because it's bringing me down, just because I wasn't doing anything else. Wasn't doing what was really going to work for me. So noticing when we kind of get caught in those ruts and what it feels like for us. So when I noticed that I was caught in that rut of I'm going through my phone again, I didn't feel super good. Like I had this pit in my stomach, kind of this feeling of like, oh, I got to do something. And so then I organized a drawer, one drawer. Don't have to organize the whole house, but one thing at a time. So boredom it can be a really tough thing. I think especially for the teenagers that are watching this. Like I know as a teenager, I didn't like to be bored. Like I wanted to continue to do stuff. And now, you as teens, you guys are super connected and you're kind of talking to each other all the time, even if you don't have social media or a phone. You're at school, you can be connected in those ways. And so it's really different. And we don't know what's going to happen with school and all that good stuff coming up. So making a routine for yourself, setting some time away for yourself, as well as to be productive with different things coming up. So setting your routine. So having that be a goal this week, your DBT goal this week of doing what works, setting a new routine. The other part of setting a routine that I'm going to bring in is radical acceptance. There's a radical acceptance that my old routine that I had is no longer going to work. And I don't like that. Like I had it good, like things were good. I knew it was going to happen. Like it was easy-ish. Now we have to set something different. And I have to radically accept that it's not going to be the same. And that really stinks. Like I don't want to. I don't want to. I was driving home on a drive the other day. It's just like, can it just go back to the way it was? And it can't. If I continue to fight that reality of what's happening, like I'm just going to continue to get stuck in that. So there's a certain part of accepting, like I'm going to have to make a new routine. And it doesn't have to feel great right away. I don't have to be like, woohoo, this is awesome. Cool if it is. However, it doesn't have to be. And so that's where that radical acceptance comes in. So the two biggest things over this week to think about and incorporate the DBT into your life are effectiveness, doing what works, setting a new routine, as well as some radical acceptance of, things are changing and I have to radically accept that there's a lot of this is out of my control. And no matter if you're a teenager or you're an adult, you've lived tons of life, like this is out of our control. And so setting that new routine and accepting like, okay, like I'm going to have to do a little bit with this new routine. Just like with anything, if you've learned radical acceptance before, other skills go into that. So taking a deep breath. Sometimes I just need to sit. Over the last week, I found myself just having to sit back and taking a deep breath. So I because I don't have any control, just like I don't have any words right now. Like it can be really confusing. And so I want you to take some time just to take that deep breath, practice radical acceptance, thinking about what is going to work for you in maybe a new normal. Regardless of if you're an essential worker and you are having to go to work, thank you. Um, the routine is still different, right? Because even being able to go and hang out with your friends or go to a family gathering, like those things are becoming more and more limited. And so the other thing with effectiveness, radical acceptance, is how do we continue to have that social support, that support circle that's part of the distress tolerance of DBT? How do we have that support circle? Well, as much as we can do things virtually, that's the great thing about things and technology right now is we can set up FaceTime, we can set up Zoom. There's a lot of other things, again, over my head, not super techy. However, I'm going to have to learn to be setting those things up. And right now, even if you can't go into a therapy office, most therapy offices are offering telehealth. When we're doing these DBT one-on-ones, telehealth will be an option for you. So you can be connected virtually and still be able to have some of that process time with how can we use these skills. So in closing for this first lesson, remember effectiveness this week, radical acceptance, as well as how can you get creative with your support circle and what does that look like? Because those are things that we're going to need in the coming weeks. Again, subscribe to our Bridging Hope YouTube channel so you can get all of the updates when we post a new video. And each week there'll be a new one coming out. Connect with one of the facilitators over the next week where you can process effectiveness, radical acceptance, and support circle. What does that look like for you? Look for those skills coming to you via email, as well as the skills card. So you can have that in front of you. You can be looking at it on your computer while you're talking with the therapist. Or if you have a printer, you can print it out and have it. If you would like one sent to you, just let your facilitator know and we can send one out via mail for you to have. So you can have a hard copy in front of you if you don't have one at home. We want to continue to do the skills card each time you're connecting with a one-on-one DBT therapist, as well as practicing a little mindfulness. So your therapist might ask you to breathe just at the beginning of the session, just kind of settling into the space, just noticing. Again, it's going to be different. I think that's the theme of all of this. Remember, we're all learning it together. Some people aren't going to love this. Maybe I'm not even going to love it. And practicing that piece of embracing what we have right now. So if you have any questions, you can always reach out to your facilitator. If you have any questions for me directly, you can reach out to me. And we can go from there. If you want updates on what's going on at Bridging Hope, follow us on our website, www.bridginghopecounseling.com. We're also on Facebook and, of course, our YouTube channel. So we look forward to hearing what conversations can come from this, and I'll see y'all next week. Thanks.